What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? It's Jim George Baker, also known as the Anime Recruiter, and I'm back with another review, another anime review, and this anime is gonna be called Baldr Force EXE. So, and pretty much the whole setting of this. Well, before I even get into the setting, I just want to talk and say, about the anime. It's short. This anime is very short. It's actually I believe it's an OVA. It's a 4 episode OVA. Yeah, it's very short. So taking if very short. But the whole setting is, the setting of the anime is it's like a cyberpunk futuristic type of show. You got this whole huge corporation that's pretty much dominates the entire world. It's very cyberish tech, kind of OVA series. It's pretty much like it's almost like a Ghost in the Shell. It's pretty much what it is. It's a Ghost in the Shell type of show. It has virtual. It's like you have the real world and you have the virtual world, and pretty much the story of it is about a guy who's like a Class A hacker, and he's originally from a group of other Class A hackers, and they all try. They pretty much make their living off of hacking into these top, secretive systems that are, very vital, secret, secret, files, and the way they hack it is actually going into the virtual world, and the way they move in the virtual world, they go into these, I guess, like giant robots. So in a way, it's kind of like it's like almost like kind of mechish, it has that mecha feel to it. So, but anyway, they go and hack, and that's how they make their living pretty much. And the main character is Toru. Yeah, Toru. That's the main character. His name is Toru. He has a best friend named Yuya, and there are also other characters in the group. But yeah, they pretty much they hack into the system one day and they get caught. And what ends up happening as they get caught, Yuya, Toru's best friend, he dies. That's not really too much of a spoiler. But yeah, he dies, and Toru, he gets caught, he gets captured, and pretty much he's pretty much screwed. But something happens, and there's in the group that catches him, the group that captures Toru, they end up giving him a proposition, and the group, or the organization is I think it's Flag. Yeah, that's the organization, is Flag. And there's a first commander named Akazawa, or Yakuzawa. He's supposed to be like the first commander. He comes up to him as he's being tied, as he's tied to his chair, as Yuru's tied to his chair because he's captured, and he pretty much says, "You work for us, and if you work for us, and use your Class A hacking skills to help us out against the enemies that are trying to destroy this another corporation that's supposed to be, they're supposed to be side to side with Flag, with Flag. It's called VSS. Now, I'm not too sure what VSS is supposed to stand for, virtual something, but yeah, it's pretty much a corporation that's supposed to get people to want to, instead of living their lives that's full of corruption in the real world, that's full of sadness in the real world, they want to send everybody into the virtual world where they can do whatever they want, and that's pretty much how this whole world. That's how much the world is. I mean, you got half people who pretty much lives in the virtual world, and then you have the other half people who just live their daily lives. And Toru, he's kind of in the middle. He lives in there are plants there. So many times where he lives in the real world, but he's like, man, I wish I could just live in the virtual world forever and just say screw the the real world, and just he wishes that his body would just die off so his brain can forever live in the virtual world where he just do whatever he wants and he's happy. But and that's how he feels about this, the whole view of the world stuff. But yeah, he pretty much gets a proposition, and he decides to take it, because again, he would have been executed if he didn't take it. He would have been executed. But but there's also another reason why he decided to join up with Flag, the group that actually, and that's the same group, mind you, that killed his best friend, Yuya. That was the same group killed his best friend, the organization. But but there is another reason he decides to join up, is to find the person who actually did it, who actually killed his best friend. That's why that's another reason. That's the main reason he decides to, join up with Flag. But now, as far as the characters in the show, I mean, they're okay. I mean, they're not really. I don't see really none of them being too annoying. I mean, even the bad guys, to a certain extent, they have their purpose. I mean, they have their purpose, and but there is one bad guy. I'm not gonna tell you like all the bad guys. I kind of just, it's kind of like something you just have to watch for yourself to get a feel of the bad guys. But I do want to say something. This anime is very, very. I have to say, this anime is very, very gory. It's gory to a certain extent. I mean, you do see, heads explode. I mean, you'll see quite a bit of blood. And there's even a scene where there's a very, 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 very disturbing rape scene that happens. It's very disturbing. Basically some psychopathic. Oh my God, this guy's a psychopath beyond this. He's a sick mother. You know what? I mean, this guy is just a sick man. You'd be like, man, why can't that dude just die already? Because he's just, I mean, when you're that psychopath, you might as well just kick the bucket. I mean, there's no point for somebody like you in the world to live. I mean, the world's already messed up as it is. We don't need people like you on this planet. And that's how you feel about the character, about this particular bad guy. But all the other, the bad guys, they're pretty much like I said. There's really no need to, But I do want to get into the characters a little bit. So basically, he joins up with Flag and he gets into a typical group in the organization. It's called the First Platoon. The First Platoon, and the First Platoon is a select group of people in it. First, there's Kara. She's like, she kind of comes off as the nerdy girl with the glasses. She seems to be very computer. She's very computer savvy. Then you have Minari, something like that. And she's supposed to be, I guess, the promiscuous kind of chick who, she'll pretty much screw any guy. And then you have Newsuke, who's he's the laid back kind of guy. He lives his life on the edge, just So he's the cool, smooth kind of guy. And then you have Ayane, who she's like has a mystery thing going on, where she's also has revenge on her mind as well, as far as her little brother getting killed by getting killed. So she's she's got revenge as well. And then you have Tochiana, and she's pretty much like the VSS advisor. She's like the advisor. She's like the main advisor for the VSS, and yeah, pretty much. I want to get to the VSS a little bit. It's supposed to be like another corporation, like a big brother corporation, the Flag, and yeah, they're supposed to be technically side by side, but VSS is pretty much, they're trying to, you know, pretty much get everybody to the virtual world and live there. And people kind of don't really want to go into the virtual world, because they're worried about being enslaved by VSS. So you have that going on as well. Now, as far as the bad things about this show, as far as the bad things about this show, I think it was just rushed. They could have just made this into a movie, but decided to make it to like an OVA, a 4 episode OVA series. So I just feel like we didn't get into the deep, we didn't get into the too much into the character. So that's part of my beef with it. I just wished it was longer, basically. And overall, I thought it was a good show. I thought this was a good show. I thought this was a good show. But if you're into cyberpunk with action packed virtual robots and you don't mind depressing stuff, because there is some depressing stuff in this anime. But if you don't mind all that, I'd say give it a watch. Give it a watch. Give it a watch. But that's about it. By my review of the show. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Have you seen the show? If you have, what you think about it? If you haven't seen the show, do you plan on seeing the show? But yeah, this is Jim Jewelers Baker, also known as the Anime Recruiter, and I'm gonna be signing out. And of course, you can like, but you guys know what to do as far as liking and do whatever you want to do as far as seeing more content. So I'll catch you guys with another review pretty soon, I hope.